Alright, so we will look at two examples to see what are the common types of vector question that we will encounter during our O-level or even school examination. Okay, so example 1, we are given a parallelogram Hij, and M is the midpoint of Hi, but doesn't look like a midpoint, but I just take it as a midpoint, and N is on Kj. Okay, so N is on Kj such that Kj is equal to 3 times of your Kn. Kj, so Kj is 3 times. So if Kj is 3 times of Kn, your Kn will be just 1 time, right? So Nj will be 2 times. So given that Hk is A, vector A, so Hm is 2b, expressed in terms of A and B, what is your Mj? So Mj, we start from M, we go to J, right? So it's right here. Okay. So it's this red color arrow. Okay, so first of all, we need to express this Mj in terms of A and B. But how do we do it? Okay, so we need to use the idea of adding up of vectors. So which two vectors will give me the red vectors? The red vector. So you just treat every of the vector that you are finding right here as the so-called the resultant vector, or the combination of two vectors lah. Okay, so treat your answer number 1. Treat every vector as the combination of two vectors. Okay, so treat every vectors, and what do I mean by every vectors? These vectors are the vector you are trying to find, or what the question asks you. Okay, alright, so Mj, so if I treat my Mj as a vector, I put a double arrow. Okay, so what two vectors will help me find will combine to get Mj? Very simple, this vector and this green color vector. So remember, the head must be connected to the tail. Alright, so what is Mi? Mi, the blue vector, basically the Mi is 2b. Okay, so remember your parallel vector, or equal vectors. Parallel vector, because here Hm is 2b, and since Mi is the same as Hm, right? So this is also 2b. Okay, what about your green color vector, Ij? Ij is A, position vector A. Okay, why is that so? Because of the parallel and equal vector. They are the same, equal length and pointing in the same direction. Hence, I can just put as a position vector A, the vector A. Okay, so now I have two vectors. These two vectors combine to give me the red color vector, Mj. So I simply just add them both up, can already. So Mj is equal to 2b plus A. Okay, so this is for answer A. What about B? Jn. Okay, so let me erase all this. Jn. So Jn is this, right? Jn. So I'm pointing from J to N. Okay, so this is basically here, right? Okay, so this will be Mi. Mi, the vector Mi is 4b, because here is 2b, here is 2b, hence you add up will give you 4b. Okay, 4b, hence, okay, so now 4b, since I know that Kj is also 4b because they are parallel, they are equal vectors basically. Alright, so for your Kj is also 4b. Okay, but what about Jk? Sorry, not Jk. What about Nj? because just now they give us the information, right? Kj is equal to 3 times of Kn. So this whole thing will be 3 times. This Kn is only 1 time. So Nj will be 2 units. Okay, so you just need to do your so-called ratio. So your Jn, your Nj is equal to 4b divided by 3 units multiplied by 2. So you should get about 8b over 3. Okay, but notice that I want Jn, not Nj. So Nj is pointing in this particular direction, right? So let me do this. Okay, so Nj is pointing in this direction, but I want the opposite direction. Right? You simply just put a negative vector. That will be your answer. Right? So Jn will be equal to negative 8b over 3. Okay, last but not least will be Nm. Okay, so Nm is this, from N to M. Okay, so for this, I need 2 arrows to help me to combine to give me Nm. Okay, so obviously we know that the 2 arrows will be Jn and Mj. Okay, sorry, not, okay, should be, okay, I want Nm, so, okay, so I need to add up 2 arrows such that they form a closed triangle. So is, okay, okay, this, okay, then, okay, Nj, Jm. Okay, so this is a closed triangle. So yeah, so you notice that when I go from N to J, then after that I go from J to M, then I can't walk anymore. Because just now I was thinking how to form a closed triangle. Okay, alright, so Nj, I have Nj already, right? So Nj is your 8b over 3. Okay, so what about Jm? I got Mj, which is the part A, 2b plus A. So I just need to flip. I just need to put a negative sign in order to get my Jm. So when I put a negative sign into my vector, this will give me negative 2b plus A, negative A. Alright, okay, so now I can just add these 2 arrows up to give me my red color arrow, Nm. So my Nm will be 8b over 3 plus negative 2b minus A bracket. Alright, so if you calculate, you should get negative A, then A over 3 minus 2b. So you should get about 2/3 b plus 2/3 b. 2/3 b. Okay, so this will be your answer. Okay, so you notice that for our vector questions, mostly is about the idea of addition and subtraction of your vectors. Okay, let's go to example 2. So same thing, we have a parallelogram. M is the midpoint of your BC. So your M is here, right? So this is 1 unit, this is 1 unit. If AB is equal to U, the whole thing is equal to U, and AD is equal to V, expressed in terms of U and V, what is your CM? CM is this, from here, C to M, right? Okay, so now, for part A, we use the idea of your parallel, not parallel, equal vectors. Remember, equal vectors means that you are the same magnitude and you are pointing in the same direction. Okay, so since AD is equal to AD is equal to V. Okay, so I also know that BC, notice it's not CB, it's BC. BC is also equal to V because they are equal vector. Okay, so alright, so now I have BC, which is your V, right? So I can find what is your MC. So MC is here from M to C. I just simply need to divide by 2 because the whole of this is 2 units. I only want MC, right? So M is the midpoint, means that I need to divide by 2 in order to get my MC. So MC is equal to V over 2. But I want CM, right? So I simply just flip. Okay, because MC is right here. Okay. So MC right here. I want CM. CM is right here. Okay, so since your MC is equal to V over 2, your CM will be equal to negative V over 2. Alright, so CM is equal to negative V over 2. Okay, let's move on. B. I want DB, right? DB, okay, so DB is right here. Okay, so DB from D, then I go to B. So DB is the combination of 2 vectors. What are the 2 vectors? These 2 vectors is already given to us straight away. So it's your U and V. But one thing is that you notice that this V and U, the tail is connected to the tail. So this is not allowed. I need the head to connect to the tail. That is the first thing. Second thing, after connecting, right, they must form a closed triangle, not a continuous triangle. So see which one you want to flip. Okay, so let's just say I flip my U to see whether can I get my closed triangle. So this is after flipping, this is V, right? Then I flip my U become like this. If you see, I combine the head and the tail is now connected. So I fulfill the first criteria. Second criteria, I don't think I fulfill because if you see, you go from the green path to the blue path. After ending your path at the blue path, you can still walk the red path. So this is not allowed. You need to stop at the red path already. Okay, so now I flip my V. Okay, so I flip my V, see whether. So this is V, right? I flip it, then U, I leave it alone. Okay. Alright, okay, so now the head is connected to the tail, so it's okay. So see whether did I fulfill the second criteria. So blue path, green path, then stop already. Okay, so yeah, so this will be my answer. So B will be DB, right? DB is equal to U minus V. Because I flip it, so I need to put a negative sign. Right, U plus negative V. Okay, so C, AM. 1 AM, right? So AM is right here. I start from A, go to M. Okay, so same thing. I need 2 vectors to help me to combine, right, to get my AM. Alright, so the 2 vectors will be right this AB and your BM. Okay, so now so you form a closed triangle, green path, blue path, then you can't walk the red path already. Alright, so okay, so let's see. I have my AB, BM I also have, right? BM, because I have my BC. BC is equal to V, so BM will be equal to V over 2. Okay, so you just add. C will be AM. is equal to u plus v over 2. That will be your answer. Okay, last but not least, md. Okay, so md is right here. I start from m, I go to d. Okay, same thing. I need two arrows, right? So okay, so I get the two arrows to combine to get my md. Yeah. So first arrow, maybe I put mc. Second arrow, I put cd. Okay. So now my head is connected to the tail, and I form a closed triangle. So everything is fulfilled. Let's put in the relevant alphabet. MC is V over 2 that we have gotten just now. CD, I don't know CD, but I know DC using the idea of equal vectors. So equal vectors, although it seems like very trivial, but actually it can help us solve a lot of problems. Right? So CD is right here. So CD is U. So what is, sorry, not, sorry, is DC. DC is U. So CD will be negative U. So D will be CD, okay, so will be MD equal to V over 2 plus negative U. Okay, so it should be V over 2 minus U. Alright, so this will be your answer for MD.